All right, we back, and we just saw "Don't Worry, Darling."
Do
Thoughts?
not worry, darling. It honestly, when I started watching it, I did get a bit of like the simulation slash Midsommar type of vibe. Midsommar had a lot of aspects like that. That like you had a whole bunch of people who came on a vacation somewhere, and then all of a sudden you realize it was a whole crazy cult type of shit. Don't Worry, Darling kind of had that same aspect, but only in simulation. And yeah, like in the beginning, that's kind of the vibe I was getting. Just it has to be either a simulation or a cult, and lo and behold, it just ended up being a simulation the whole time.
Like a simulation cult.
Yeah, I mean, actually, you're right, because it's like it was basically kind of like a simulation slash game, and it was a cult. Yeah, you're right.
For that guy, but I still didn't understand where they were going. But
yeah, I don't understand a lot about that guy. He died in the end, but what was she gonna prove? Like once she killed him, like, oh, it's my turn now.
Yeah,
like,
I couldn't follow. I didn't understand that. But I mean, I felt like they were trying to leave you answers, and maybe the clues are somewhere else in the film.
Yeah.
But I liked all the actors in there. I like Olivia Wilde. I like Florence Pugh. I think.
Oh no, for sure she.
Harry Styles did a good job. I usually am like not that excited for him, but that was actually legit.
Yeah, there was a lot of highs and lows. Like like a lot of people would tend to say like, oh, he's just good looking and he's gonna do just fine just because he's good looking. But
he was
overall,
acting, yeah.
But he is acting.
Well.
He's doing. He's actually putting the work, bringing these emotions out. And he really pulled it off,
He did. He really pulled it off.
Yeah.
And they had like the different versions too, like like bummy Harry and like clean cut.
Oh yeah,
Harry.
like he had different looks.
Good jobs. Like I really felt like he was like, and I like how they revealed that kind of slowly too.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually because I was like, where are they going with this? But when they slowly start to reveal it, I was like, okay, this is cool. I like how they're doing this. It's kind of the vibes they were sending, but then once they explained the world more, like. What the reality of everything was, then it started to be like, okay, that they were kind of saying that the whole time. They were alluding to this the whole time.
Dude, I makes you wonder, since this whole simulation type of thing, and of course you got Meta who is trying to
do
make
this
type of stuff. Makes you wonder if not maybe a near future, who knows, because technology is going very quickly. But in a near future, or maybe, a little few more years, if that's going to become something. Because definitely I remember seeing a article, not an article, it was more like a podcast with Elon Musk. And they were basically talking about how the metaverse will be in the future and how many things. They talked about many things, like just how it could, how it could turn out, how people could get addicted into the metaverse.
It's already happening.
Overall. So yeah, a lot of this stuff, you never know. It could happen in a near future.
It felt like MK Ultra, like it was happened before. You know what I mean? Like, because it was like, if I had to guess on what I was looking at, it was like they had a device that kept them in like a perpetual REM sleep.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It was doing that scan.
That was one thing I couldn't understand about. Like, she just kept awake. Is it that she had to log out every time?
I think they would log you out, and then they would probably do something to you and then sign you back in.
Yeah.
Drug you or do something and then sign you back in, or give you like the lobotomy and then sign you back in.
So basically the people who know they're in the simulation, every single morning they would drive out at the same time to do what?
To go to work.
They would touch the window, they would log out, and they would go to actual work in real life.
Yeah. And the dude was like having them do something that I don't understand. And he also mentioned like in the bed, and I feel like he's probably taking advantage of these women who are strapped down or like strained. You know what I mean? And that's what's, the benefit for his simulation at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It just seemed, his character was hella weird.
Yeah, Chris Pine's kid, he's just a good-looking dude, but overall, you give him that type of paper, you give him that type of script, and the dude just goes creepy.
Yeah, he's legit.
He's just creepy.
He was legit creepy. He just felt like cult leader. It felt very cult leader-ish.
Yeah, very.
And I think they did a good job like getting that across. Because I for sure was like, whoa. But it was like she was resisting. And it, like, you know what I mean? For him, it was like, oh, this is a challenge. Her mind is trying to resist my brainwashing.
Mm-hmm. Although I don't like how he fell. I really don't like how he fell. It's like you kind of saw this guy as like superpower, mighty type of dude, but then all of a sudden he just gets stabbed by his wife, and she tells him,
maybe
it's
because
my turn
broke.
now.
Maybe she broke his brainwash, and he's been brainwashing her probably forever, and everybody
So, like,
else. Yeah, and she finally was like
you're right.
broke out of it. Like, you fucking bastard. Like,
Just see the. Like sometimes you can't tell with a story like what characters have,
because they didn't really touch on the wife.
they
actually,
didn't really
you know what I mean?
touch
She
on
just
the
was just
wife,
a character, and you had to kind of feel her out based on her couple of scenes. And it seemed like she was under a deep brainwash too, so you couldn't tell.
It could be that she was in a brainwash for sure.
And everybody seemed like they were in their own deep thing, and they kept coming out slowly when they would see something weird. You know what I mean? That would like seem like it would awaken the girls, but that one dude was a spaz. Like, he said, "This wouldn't happen, no."
And then all of them had the same ways of how they met, so I guess that was another
Yeah,
thing.
all the stories,
So definitely, it just kind of makes you think that most of the women who were under the simulation didn't know they were under the simulation, except for Bunny.
Yeah, who just
Bunny, she admitted she knew she was in the simulation, but she doesn't want to be in reality because she doesn't have her kids anymore in reality. But she has it in the simulation, which is kind of sad. But
it is. But I get it. That would be the reason.
But that was something that it wasn't in that podcast with Elon Musk, but it was on articles that I saw in the past talking about how a lot of people are already grieving at the moment.
Yeah,
and if the metaverse were to get much more advanced, these are the people who are probably going to be slaves to the metaverse, going into the metaverse to fulfill that empty feeling that they have inside, which is a little,
It's dark.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
dark.
and I feel like there was some like commentary on just society too. You know what I mean? Like her doing the same thing and them having the little perfect society they had to maintain. Her happiness versus his happiness, and her liking to go to work, him not liking to go to work, him almost like projecting that onto her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Him thinking that she hated it, like he had to take the pain now. He could give her this life, and he had to take the pain, but he was just like still warped and messed up.
Yeah, he was just warped and messed up.
Yeah.
Honestly, what I got from, and funny enough, I don't know if you noticed when it showed that shot of Harry Styles in front of his computer, on the left side was like Discord. So I already got this guy as like, gamer, always in front of his computer type of dude.
Vibes. And he was listening to this guy's cult stuff.
And of course he's listening to all that. Yeah, exactly. So it was kind of a weird contrast. Like, imagine a surgeon with some dude who's in front of his computer all day. Not saying it doesn't happen.
For sure.
But it's a little off. But,
that's what happens. It was so off that this type of situation could happen.
It really was. But I mean, I don't hate on it either. I just feel like it all happened very quickly at the end.
That reveal.
But then again, this is what suspense does. This is what suspense genre does. They try to make it drag for almost a whole fucking movie, as we saw. Like, there was just a repetitive moments of all that flashbacks and all that shit, but then at the end of it, it's just like, and here you go.
For sure. And I'll say this. I don't know. Some of the things, like, it made sense, for the movie with all these questions, but like, if she was a surgeon and nobody came looking for her, you know what I mean? That's a major position. Like, it's not just she's gonna just disappear and be trapped in virtual reality for a long time. But, like, no one came looking for her ass. Like, hey, Dr. So-and-so's gone, her husband's been acting weird, they've been shipped off to a private facility. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah.
Like, no one came looking for her. That was just the one weird thing, because she had a very, like, prestigious kind of career.
Yeah, she was like the surgeon.
She was
like, there 30 hours a day.
She's not just gone. She doesn't just disappear and nobody finds her. She's trained up in her house, with her creepy husband.
Well, I mean, just those are those things that they probably wrote in like a synopsis. During when they write a script, they have other files.
We're not gonna make it all the way to the world building on that.
No, of course. But
we're sorry.
But yeah. Don't worry, darling. It's honestly, I don't have any other take.
Yeah, that was good though.
But
rated out of 10.
Rated out of 10. I feel like with the right pacing, I would have given it a 7, but I'm gonna have to give it a 6.
Dang, I was gonna give it a 8.
An 8?
Yep.
Why an 8 though?
An 8 because I liked the suspense of it. I liked the virtual reality element, obviously. You know, VRX forever.
No, of course.
I liked the actors. I did like the reveal. I thought that they were kind of leading up to it the entire time. When it happened, they did drag the movie on a little bit long at the end. I felt like they could have told that story in a little bit less time. And that took a lot of points, but I really did like the suspense and like all the themes and what the movie actually ended up being about. I thought that was cool. Because it really didn't seem that virtual reality-ish still. It still seemed like they were like Stepford wives or something.
Yeah, like...
And getting brainwashed. And then you start to realize like, oh, it is deeper. They are actually like in a simulation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I give it a 6, personally. And not because I didn't like the movie. I mean, I watched through the whole thing. But like there were a lot of stuff that would happen that already seemed obvious from the get-go. You know, like I immediately got simulation. I'm just like, I feel like this is a simulation. Yeah, and then of course they come to a point that I'm like, why are they in the middle of nowhere? You know, like it's a very nice neighborhood in the middle of nowhere.
Because they built that in Unreal Engine.
In Unity and Nuke. Yeah, they have it all running on Nuke in a laptop server.
But it was like, it was okay. So honestly, I don't want to say it was necessarily a simulation because it was almost like they were stuck in a dream. You know what I mean? It wasn't like there was. It seemed like I didn't feel like there was a computer strapped to their brain or anything. It was literally like they were stuck in some type of dream, a forced dream.
This simulation went through alpha, went through beta.
Yeah, legit, because they were together, because their minds were connected. It's like they were dreaming together.
I mean, it's still a simulation.
For sure.
It's still a simulation. Just, it has no bugs, it has no glitchiness, you know?
No, it did, because remember her eggs didn't have stuff in them that time.
Oh, yeah, you're right. There were glitches in there, you're right. But yeah, overall, my rating of 6, not really, just, I feel like it's the predictability. And that I've seen it in other movies in the past that have to do with suspense genre.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the Midsummer thing.
But it wasn't a bad movie. Like I said, I love the actors who were in this movie. They did great, and overall everything was pleasing to watch. I guess I've seen it in the past.
It was good cinematography too.
Yeah.
And the music was killing it. That was like creating the suspense and like the all that type of shit. And it just cuts to like something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was really doing it, but like honestly, that was
now that you know you're bringing all this up, so I'm kind of like, okay, maybe a 6 is bad. You know what? I'll increase it to 7. I'll make it a 7 out of 10.
We'll give it the 7.5, but midway is 7.5.
Okay.
But I thought, the music really was a cornerstone for me. Because that was throughout the film, like it kept letting me know, like, okay, something's weird. It's like it was also telling me a story. Even points like where there really wasn't something odd necessarily happening on screen, but it was more like hinting, like, well, there is something weird about the situation. You know, it was like, you know, it's like, hold on, like, what am I actually seeing here? And it was like giving you cues throughout the movie, so I thought that was really fun. Yeah, that was that might have been my favorite part, was the music actually.
The least favorite part of this whole movie was setting this fucking Amazon Prime onto this TV that it was not working in the beginning. We were gonna watch that in a 32-inch fucking monitor.
Well, got an update.
The update worked out. Dude, I ain't gonna lie, I haven't turned this on in like a month.
I know, got the PlayStation 5 over there just collecting
dust. It's just there collecting dust and just chilling. I mean, I did play Ghost of Tsushima on it, but I have to play other games.
Oh, I heard that game is fresh. Alright, well, go see Don't Worry Darling. It's pretty good.
Watch it, it's good.
Yep.
It's good.
And we out.
Peace. Not bad. Not bad.